Everyone, this is me, Himani Singh, your faculty for CUET MSW examination. In this class, we'll be covering your CUET 2023 question paper and with detailed solutions. This class is entirely about discussing your 2023 paper, right? And here we'll be discussing the approach of solution, right? The approach of question, how you'll be approaching questions, and thereafter we'll also be discussing the various important parts that are associated with eliminating wrong things from your question, right? How to decide the right points, right? And I mean, how to decide the right option from your the given question, right? So all these things will be discussed in your class. So with this, let's just begin today's class. All right. So here, in your first question, you see, how is the demographic dividend calculated? Right. So here in this class, I'll be giving you like 20 to 15 seconds to just read the question and also of course, process and then give the right answer. So before we start, just a little announcement or an exercise that about what we are doing today is, please pick up your pen and paper, right? And also here, when I give you some time to solve the question, kindly mark, write 75 serial numbers, right? Because as we have seen that our entire question paper just comes from 100 questions, and right, and in those 100 questions, the initial 25 questions are based for your these associated with your this numerical reasoning and all that stuff, right? And the 75 are your subject associated question. So here we are of course solving those 75 questions. So I'll just request you to mark 75 numbers and thereafter. And also once we are done with this class, kindly evaluate yourself also and also give yourself negative marking as well, right? With this, you will have a quick exercise also about how well you are performing or what is your current status, right? All right, let's just begin. So how is demographic dividend calculated? First one is your fertility rate or mortality rate. Second is your share of working age population or share of non-working age population, non-working population upon working population, birth rate and death rate. 15 seconds will be given to you to decide the right answer. Time ends. What is that basically? What is your demographic dividend? What is your correct answer? So here your correct answer is basically your share of working population or share of non-working age population. So what is basically a demographic dividend basically? So this demographic dividend was something that was defined by the United Nations Population Fund, right? What it is? So basically it is the economic growth potential that can result from shift in the population say structure. What it is now? See, mainly when the share of the working age population is larger than the non-working population. For example, when I say your demographic dividend is basically it's your economic growth potential that can result from the shift in the population age structure. How? When I'm talking about the working age population, so here you see when your working age population share from 15 to 64, right? 15 to 64 is your working age population. When your 15 to 64 is higher than your non-working population, that is your 14 and younger or 65 and older, that is your kids and your adults, right? So basically what it is, it's an economic growth potential. It is your demographic dividend, right? I hope it is quite clear to you now. All right, coming to the second question. Dash is the creation of ethnically homogeneous territory through the mass expulsion of other ethnic population. What is the correct answer? Is it ethnic disassociation, ethnic disintegration, ethnic colonialism, or ethnic cleansing? All right. So here your answer is dash is your ethnic cleansing. And what is ethnic cleansing basically? So basically it's a systematic removal of people, okay? And of course, creation of homogenic societies or territories. So here you see example of Jews and this German and the Jews, right? So here what Hitler did, Hitler basically, he wanted to remove all the Jews and he wanted to have an ethnically homogeneous territory based of all Germans only, right? And he wanted to have a mass expulsion of this one ethnic population that was Jews, right? So what he did was ethnic cleansing, okay? What he did was ethnic cleansing, because ethnic cleansing is like rendering an area ethnically homogeneous by using force or by using intimidation to remove from a given area like persons or other ethnic or religious group, right? All right. With this, let's just come to the last, third one. The 73rd and 74th Amendments to the Constitution of India provide for the election of the local bodies. That is every year, every third year, every fifth year, or every second year. What is the correct answer? Right. So here the answer would be The 73rd and 74th Amendment of the Constitution of India provide for the elections of local bodies after every 5 years. Okay. After how many time? After every 5 years, right? So your 5 years is your answer, right? Because the 73rd and 74th Constitution Amendment was about this only, right? And so I hope it is quite clear to you about this Panchayati Raj one, right? This we have already discussed. This we have already discussed that how every 5th year elections have to be held and among these local bodies. This we have already discussed, right? So I hope this question particularly was quite easy for you. All right. When a log is burned, we are using biomass energy, and biomass energy is a form of, kindly use your time. Is it a solar energy, hydro energy, chemical, or geothermal energy? Which sort of energy is biothermal energy? I hope you are able to answer this, right? So what is biomass energy, right? And how it is stored and what it is basically. So here you need to understand that energy that is derived from your living organism is your biomass energy, right? It is organic and it is produced from material that is obtained from the living entities. For example, your animals and plants, right? So the most common forms of biomass materials are your plant and your wood waste and everything. Like for example, this your shredded parts from your timber industry, right? So what is this? This is basically your this would serve as a form of your biomass energy, right? This is so here. So the most common forms of biomass materials are wood, plants, waste, which are known as biomass feedstocks, right? So here, when I'm talking about this question, so when a log is burned, we are using biomass energy, of course, right? And biomass energy is a form of what sort of energy? It is a chemical form of energy. How? Because you see, biomass contains stored chemical energy from the sun. Biomass can be burned, however, it must be dried as well, right? So when I'm saying that, because biomass energy, what is biomass basically, or what is biomass feedstock? See, biomass contains your stored chemical energy from the sun, right? Because how that is produced through plants through photosynthesis. You all understand this. The plant use the process of photosynthesis, and that is how your biomass is produced. So biomass can be turned directly for heat or converted to liquid and gaseous fuels through your various processes. And of course, that is why I'm saying that the biomass contains stored chemical energy from the sun. I hope it is quite clear to you. This justification was quite clear. And biomass can be burned as well. However, it must be dried, right? So this chemical process, entire chemical process, if they ask you in your next examination or in your next question, because they have already asked about what is biomass energy, and you are quite clear about that as well. So they can ask you that the chemical process through which this biomass is burned, dried, and all these things. So what this chemical process is called? This chemical process is called torrefaction. Okay. TORREFACTION. This is torrefaction. Okay. What is this torrefaction? This entire chemical process is called as your torrefaction. Okay. And biomass, we all know it's a renewable source of energy that can be converted into liquid biofuel, such as your ethanol and biodiesel, right? And and also we have also discussed that there is one of the plant that is also used in the form of, that is the first generation or the traditional biofuel. What is that? It is basically your Jatropa, right? There is a plant of Jatropa, due to which yes, because of its high calorific value, it is used in the form of your biofuel, right? And in the year 2013, government also made it mandatory to use 5% in your biofuel as well. 5% of the biofuel with your, it should be blended with your petrol and diesels, right? All right. Coming towards the next question. All right. So in this question, Ganga and Kavita, they live with their father Rajan. And in the morning, all three leaves home together. Ganga drops Kavita to school and she goes to her college. Rajan goes to his factory. And in the evening, they cook food and they eat together. And during the vacation, the girl visits their mother. What kind of family is this? First, is it a single parent family? Is it a women-headed family? Is it a disorganized family? Or is it a nuclear family? So here you see in this type of question, you see, let's just explore all of these four options. First option says that it's a single parent family. Yes, because these girls visit their mother's place, right, during their vacation. So single parent family is that this family, it's his father, it's their father only, right? Women-headed family, no, not at all. So the second option is already eliminated anyway. Disorganized family, what are the characteristics of a disorganized family? Of course, these are not the characteristics of this disorganized family. See, disorganized family, is the one where there, of course, that does not have a set or a conventional mode. I won't say that the non-conventional ones are wrong, but here disorganized family is the one where, of course, the parents, or if you say the other part of the family member, does not, for instance, let's just take example of an organized family, right? What is an organized family? There is a mother, father, and there is the other children as well, right? So here, when I'm talking about disorganized family, so it is apart from your conventional one. Like for example, there are elements of separation, divorce, right? And there is this separation, divorce, and other forms of miscommunication, communication issues also. So that type of family is like of a sort of a disorganized family, right? Nuclear family, what is a nuclear family? Is the one where there is just mother, father, and their children, right? That's a nuclear family. So here, see, we cannot call it a disorganized family, a nuclear family, or a women-headed family. Women so is already cut in the very beginning, or it's eliminated in the very beginning. So here our answer goes as single parent family, right? Because here the family is headed by the father. It's just the father who takes care of the girls, and the girls, they occasionally, or they very or on their vacations only, they visit their, often they visit their mothers, right? Okay. Which one of the following is not a defense mechanism? Here in our psychology classes, we have already discussed this. But let's just see how well you answer this. So first one is your sublimation, second is your regression, third is your integration, and fourth is your projection. So which one is not a type of defense mechanism? Yes. Which one is not your defense mechanism? So here in this question, if we see, sublimation we have read, regression we have also read, projection we have also read, but there was nothing of that sort of integration, right? Integration is not a defense mechanism. So here, which one is wrong? Which one is the odd one out over here? Integration is your odd one out, and it's your, it's a sort of your defense mechanism. All right. So sorry, it's not a form of defense mechanism. And your sublimation, regression, and projection is there. Sublimation, I hope you all know. Regression and projection is also we all know, right? All right. Moving ahead. A 360-degree feedback is associated with what? So here it is a part of your occupational social work, right? And your organizational behavior, which is also known as OB, or your human resource subject, right? That how a 360-degree feedback is associated with. See, so a 360-degree feedback is used. All right, we'll discuss it later once few of the students answer this. So first one is the selection, recruitment, layoff, or performance appraisal. What is this 360-degree feedback is associated with? So here, when we talk about this 360-degree feedback, so what is this 360 feedback is associated with? See, so this is a type of survey or an evaluation of one person, of one employee, okay? That person or that employer, what an employer does is, here employee takes feedbacks from everyone. Why are we using 360-degree? Because it's a holistic one. Everybody is included over here, not just the, it's not just that the employer is taking feedback from the employee. No, here he is using everybody. He's taking feedback of that particular employee from his peers as well, colleagues, supervisors, managers, everybody, right? Why he's gathering all that information, or why is he taking feedback from everybody regarding that particular employee? It is because for performance appraisal, okay? Because that manager or that employer wish to do that employee's performance appraisal. For that matter, he's obtaining everybody's feedback regarding that particular employee. Okay. All right. With this, we are moving forward. What is this concept of looking glass self has been given by? Who gave this concept? Is it given by Giddings, Cooley, McIver, or Adam Smith? Right. So this particular one is given by Charles Horton Cooley, right? How he is using them, or how this concept is being given. So this concept is basically given by Charles Horton Cooley. What he says about this is, it's a very interesting sociological theory. What he talks about, he says that how we view others, or how, see, we basically form an image of ourselves based on the judgments of how other people are perceiving us, right? For example, currently how I'm looking, I'll perceive my worth, my value on the basis or the judgment of other. For example, if my mother is sitting over here, right, and she passes me a compliment, right, that you're looking good today, right? Are you looking good in black? So I would perceive that as, because I am seeing myself through her eyes, right? Or I'm seeing my judging my value and worth based on how she perceiving me, right? So this is looking glass self is basically the social interaction. He has termed this as a mirror to society, a mirror to self, right? So here this theory was given by Charles Horton Cooley, right, which is our second option. All right, moving ahead, the extended family tree outlining familial relation across generation is depicted as sociometry, family web, genealogy, or family diagram, which is your correct answer. All right. Here, if students have marked sociometry or family web or family diagram, they're wrong. All right. The correct answer over here is genealogy. What is genealogy? Basically, genealogy is basically it's a study of your ancestors, right? It's a study of your whole lineage, right? So here, how we understand, so please, those who all have marked sociometry, so let's just also understand what sociometry is. Basically, sociometry is it's a qualitative method for measuring social relationship, right? So basically, it is used for that. So it is the how people interact with each other to measure the relationship between an individual and society. That is why sociometry is used. They can ask you an examination. So we have already discussed this, right? What is sociometry? Sociometry is basically it's a quantitative method for measuring a person's relationship, right? Social relationship. So constructive change in individual and groups. So to measure their relationship, sociometry is used. But when we talk about genealogy, so what is genealogy basically? Genealogy is the study of family origins and history, right? So genealogy is basically it's an account of the descent or of a person or family or a group of ancestor or older forms. Okay, so a person's family, how this entire lineage has come into being, how about an entire family, right? Their entire relations across generations. So this is your genealogy. All right. What is GNP? This we have an entire class of our important economic terms. What is GNP of a country? That is a gross national product of a country. Is it a measure of the national total volume of the economic activity that takes place in the country throughout the year? It is an average of the total volume of the economic activity that takes place in the country during a period of 10 years, or it is a measure of the total volume of economic activity that takes place in the region during the year, or it is a measure of the total volume of agricultural, industrial activity that takes place in the country during the year. Here in this question, we have already discussed what is GNP or your gross national product. So when we talk about GNP, it is a measure of the total volume of the economic activity that takes in the country throughout there. In the country. Okay. So here, which one is your answer? It's your first one. All right.